Okay, hello. I'm back with Back to the Future. Um, this one's heavy. Okay, to use a phrase from the film, this one is a heavy decode here. Okay, where am I going with this one? The twins. Okay, we're going to be looking at Eric Stoltz's role in Back to the Future. Okay, okay, I've got a picture up here of Michael J. Fox and Eric Stoltz. Interesting with these two images that they look very, very similar. They do look very similar, and it's deliberate. Okay, because let me backtrack before we get on to why they cast Eric Stoltz and why they would go through this thing. Um, let's backtrack, and I'll just give you the little cover story, because if people aren't up to date with this, this was something that came out a few years ago now. I don't know when it came out, but it kind of, there was lots of videos on it on YouTube about Eric Stoltz being originally cast as Marty in Back to the Future. He was the original Marty, okay? And so what happened is they basically, the way he played the character, they didn't like it, okay? He wasn't fitting the role. He was too serious, yada yada yada. And originally they had wanted Michael J. Fox for the part, but they couldn't get him. Okay, so they went with Eric, and Eric didn't fit the bill, and so they had to, get rid of him. And then they went back and, you know, pleaded for Michael J. Fox and got him. Basically. So the whole it's a bit smelly to begin with. Okay, it doesn't quite make much sense in terms of, if you're making this film and you want Michael J. Fox, and that's who you've got to have for the role. I don't know. Maybe it did happen the way they say. I, I think there's something deeper going on here. Okay, I think the people that wrote that film, um, it's an extremely encoded film. Okay, and they've not stopped at just the actual what you see on the screen. They've actually encoded the actual in the making of the film as well. Okay, whether they know it or not, I think they probably do. But whether they know it or not, we've got twin symbolism encoded in the production of the film. Okay, from this flip from one Marty to a different Marty. Okay, so these are twins. Okay, so we have twins within the film, and of course we know that Back to the Future heavily encodes 9/11. Okay, the Twin Towers. Okay, so why wouldn't the people that are encoding that deep, deep message, okay, why wouldn't they have a character come in and play the role of the metaphysical version of Marty? Okay, this is what Eric Stoltz is playing, is the metaphysical version of it. Okay, notice they've got him dressed in black. You know, half the time when, well, I know this is a black and white picture here, but here's Marty with the red and the blue on, and Eric, he's dressed as the Black Pearl here. This is the metaphysical. Okay, so he's playing this hidden twin. Yeah, we don't really see him in the film. There's one little shot where Biff gets hit right before the skateboard scene in Back to the Future, the first chase scene with the skateboard, and of course Marty rips one of the twin towers off the skateboard at that point, and that's referencing one of the towers going down there. So he shows up we're told, as a minute glimpse, during the scene where Biff gets hit. Okay, so he's not in the film apart from that, but he was in the film, if you know what I mean. So he is the metaphysical twin. So they've gone to the length of putting this guy in the film. Okay. Now, what was I saying in the last video? If we're looking at this idea of rebirth, okay, And this is the metaphysical twin. Okay, what we want to do is we want to look at birthdays, because essentially what actually has to happen, within everybody's life, in order to sort of come back to a balancing point, is the false ego, the false reality that we live in, the matrix, which is created by our own egos, amalgamated together. But that our false ego as well is the thing that has to be sacrificed. That's the sacrificial twin. Okay, that's that metaphysical twin that we've created, from being within the matrix. It's kind of like a, one thing create the what am I trying to say here? The false ego, of man creates the matrix, and the matrix creates the false ego of man. It's one of those relationships where you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. You're between a rock and a hard place. When you're within the matrix, you're automatically going to have an ego that's not balanced. Okay, so that's the thing that has to be sacrificed. That's the thing that has to be put back on the cross and balanced. Okay, and so we have to have this thing sacrificed. Okay, this false ego, the guy that's stuck in the black pearl. Okay, so what is interesting is, if we go to birthdays now, birthdays and death days are what we want to look at for, the idea of a rebirth ritual. Okay, we're going to go and look at Eric Stoltz's birthday, and you will not believe this, basically, because he's born the 30th of September. The date that we've got pegged for the Hoover Dam right now, the date that we've been looking at most recently for the Hoover Dam is September the 29th. And that is obviously the 29th moving into the 30th. The reason why that's so interesting, and the reason why we're moving into the 30th, is because the Hoover Dam, again, the birthday for the Hoover Dam is the 30th of September 1935. Okay, so this is when the Hoover Dam is dedicated. So we have this connection here now. Eric Stoltz's birthday, same day as the Hoover Dam. In fact, he is 61 years old right now, so he'll be 62, which again is another nice, you just flip that 6 to the 9, it's another nice, you can actually just, I think you just rotate that number 62 and it should be a 29. Okay, so again, another nice reference to 29, another nice reference to the Hoover Dam. Yeah, in Back to the Future, when this baby hits 88, you're going to see some serious shit. Well, the Hoover Dam this year will be 88 years old this year. Okay, coming up right now in a couple of weeks. Interesting, very, very interesting, with the fact that they had to have this character playing Marty. Okay, I don't think he was ever meant to play any more of the role than he did. I think he was meant to be there to play a few scenes, and this was a story that they were going to, and it's just interesting that it was pushed a few years ago now, or it seems like a few years ago. I don't actually know when that story really sort of made waves, but again, I think it is deliberate. I think the people behind Back to the Future deliberately put him in there just for that reason, no other reason. He also played The Mask. That was one of his other notable roles. The Mask, yeah. What have we just had? We've just had The Mask. Okay, The Mask is the persona as well. That's important to understand, that the legal mask that you wear is a false identity. Yeah, that's what person is. The legal person. It's a persona, an act. It's a mask. Okay, that's where that idea comes from. Is the in the olden days when they would act, they would have this mask with a little funnel thing or whatever on it, and they would change characters using that thing. Okay, that's not making much sense, but you know, this is what he's representing. He's representing that fictional identity, you know, that needs to be brought back into balance. Okay, the thing that's controlling us right now. Anyway, lots of wiffly waffly stuff, but it doesn't end there, right? It does not end there, because we go again. Here's the thing. This is just a video that I picked up on. I was, you know, skimming through it basically, and the guy starts talking about this actress here that was originally set to play Jennifer. Okay, this actress is So this is the actress that would have played Jennifer with Eric. Okay, and then they switched. Okay, and then they switched again. But these are the two that are not in the film, but were there originally. Okay, so let's go and have a look at her birthday now. Where's she at? Okay, here she is, Menora Hardin. Okay, let's look at her birthday. You can't write it. June 29th. 629. Okay, I just, was it 3 or 4 videos ago now, with the Who's That Girl thing changing. Yeah, Madonna's Who's That Girl date, the release date for Who's That Girl was originally in an old video of mine. We were looking at Wikipedia, and 6/23 was the date they had for that. Looking recently, they changed it to 6/29. Okay, 6/29 for Who's That Girl. Okay, and I'd just been saying, just flip the 6, just flip the 6. Okay, and here we go. You know, we've got 9/29. Okay, and now we've got this character who was going to play Jennifer. Okay, and she basically got ditched as well. She was too tall to be Jennifer alongside Michael J. Fox. So again, it's just interesting stuff, isn't it? It's just really interesting that they went to the effort. I think they went to the effort to put those characters in there simply to reference the metaphysical, simply to reference the birthdays, okay, and to reference back to the Hoover Dam. Anyway, we shall find out. We shall wait and see. 88 miles an hour. When this baby hits 88, you know, we're going to see some serious. Yeah. I don't remember coming across his birthday though. This is the weird thing. I don't remember coming across his birthday when I'm sure I looked at September the 30th birthdays. So it's one of those weird things. But of course now, I don't know why I decided to check this. I just had an inkling to check it, and I'm like, you know, and this is what happens. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there for this one. I'll catch on another one. All right, take care. All right, bye.